Hello and welcome to Little Paxton Garden Railway. Today we are looking at Victoria. She's a model of an L.N.E.R. steam-driven Clayton railcar. They had a coal bunker at the front for the coal and water was underneath in a tank. Railcars were made in the 1920s. There were 11 built and lasted right up until the late 1940s. Victoria was scratch built. What does scratch built mean? I can see you querying. It means she was constructed from raw materials rather than, say, like buying a kit in a shop. Homemade. She was actually built by my father-in-law, David Keatley. That was in 1992 at Somersham, where he lived at the time. The material used was plywood, brass sheet, and the motor and cogs from an old video cassette recorder. Dad was an engineer, an electrician, so he could make it work how he wanted. Here we see Victoria completed. Also, Dad and his other locomotives that he scratch built. These photos are from Somersham, 1992, 1993, 1997, and a 2004 with a visiting rail car from a friend of ours. It's called Tally-Ho. The railway moved location to Little Paxton in 2008. Here is Dad in 2009 with his great-granddaughter L.P.G.R, who seems fascinated by Victoria. Sad to say, Dad passed away in 2011, but my son David and I have the pleasure of taking his creation forward to what you see today. L.P.G.R again, this time grown up a bit. This is in 2021. I decided to have some fun and I've recreated the old picture that L.P.G.R had with her great granddad, this time with me, her granddad. This is the on-off switch that goes under the coal bunker, and you switch it on or off to activate it. The power source comes from 10 rechargeable AA batteries. This bar is the cut-off bar, so when Victoria comes into the station, she comes in, it lifts up that little switch and that cuts off the power and Victoria will glide to a stop. This little thing here is very clever because underneath Victoria there's a direction changer. The two next to the wheel, and as it goes over it flicks them, so it reverses the motor, so when she starts up again, off she goes. And she glides to a nice stop. She waits for 20 seconds, then the inner circumference cam strikes its first micro switch, sending a buzz from a small speaker that's inside. So you can have as many stops as you wish. We have a total of 3 on our layout. If I notice a problem with Victoria, I make a quick note, and when my son David, seen here, pops over, he usually gets the job done. He's the engineer of our team. Here I have removed the tunnel mouthpieces. This is to show how it all connects together really. It's done like this so we can dismantle it and get to any problems. There's a little ruin there, and this piece goes onto Victoria's line just there. I'll speed things up now. Now it's time for some Victoria running footage. And a nice slow stop there, and so Victoria will wait, the passengers will alight, and the new passengers will get on board, and then we wait for the buzz. Right, now it's time to put Victoria into the engine shed. First, I shall have to set the points so she'll change tracks and go through the mainline tunnel. So I throw the lever to change the point, and off she goes onto the main line. she awaits again for the points to be changed. So she's going to come along here, and there I need to make a crossover onto this piece of track, so she's on a different line. I'm moving the points by hand as I haven't added any levers as of yet. Right then, off she goes. So she'll be going over nice and slowly so she doesn't jump from one track over to the other track and into the tunnel. Into the station, and she stops at the signal. Right, I need to change this point here, so then she will go off into the engine shed. So I'll just change the point. She's got the signal clearance, and off she moves. She stops at the service station to take on coal, which will be put in by hand, and also in the bunker to fill it up with water. Now it's time to move on to the turntable. I'm moving the turntable, I'm moving it by hand. And that's the end of her shift, so she goes into the engine shed. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for viewing. Toodaloo!